Well, that sure was something. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I almost went out. That was close. Tribal certainly was intense. I almost went out because I ended up getting 2 votes, but luckily the rest of the tribe had my back and we were able to send out Ursula. I feel like if we lose again, the target's probably gonna have to be Sandra because she was the only one who was not in the majority, but it could also end up being Matt because he is the new guy to the tribe, yes, but he also could possibly be dangerous because since he went to Exile Island, there's a possibility the idol was there. Oh, and welcome to the team, Matt. Yeah, thanks guys. So, how's Exile like? Well, it was interesting. It seems like that's where the idol's at. I couldn't find it because the clue made absolutely no ounce of sense. Like, it's under my nose? Like, what the heck does that even mean? Huh, so you didn't find it? No, of course I didn't. So I couldn't find the idol. I mean, I looked high and low for it, and I guess it's under my nose. I don't know what that even means. But I'm on this tribe. I hope they don't think I have the idol, because if they do, I'm probably gonna be in a lot of danger. The thing is, I understand why Ursula is gone, but it's frustrating because now I'm on the bottom. The only thing I gotta hope for is that people have distrust for Matt, but as of right now, I'm not feeling too confident, so I feel like immunity is the only way I make it through the rest of the pre-merge, because I feel like I'm most likely on the bottom. Hey, Sandra, can we talk? I guess. Sure. Listen, I know you're upset about what we did, but hear us out. We had to do it because Ursula was dragging our team down in terms of physical aspect. We need to have the best tribe we can be, and she wasn't the best for our team. The thing is, I get it, but the whole ordeal is just, if we lose, then how can I guarantee I'm not the next one to go? Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know what to really say, Sandra. I know it's just a part of the game, but, I mean, I don't really regret the decision that me and Fran did. I mean, we had to get rid of Ursula. It's the best chances we got at moving forward and being able to win challenges, because sure, Survivor's all about making big moves at Tribal Council, but you also need to defeat the opposing team, and if we want to do that, we need the best tribe we can be, and Ursula was our weakest by far. I feel like if we end up losing, I feel like Sandra might be the easy vote, but then we can also end up doing that. I feel like just voting off Ursula, point blank, is just what opens up our options. Whether we can, go with the tribe and, just get rid of Sandra, or we could try and make a move on Matt. So, what do you think of Sandra? I feel okay with her, but I feel like if we end up losing, we might have to vote her off. Really? Over her over Matt? Like the guy who literally just joined our tribe? I mean, I guess when you look at it like that, it doesn't make sense, but the base thing is, we don't know 100% if Matt is truly a threat. I mean, if he doesn't have the idol, then I don't see the threat in him at all. I mean, there's a possibility he could have it. Yeah, but I feel like that's entirely you just being paranoid, because at the end of the day, if we are 100% certain that he has nothing on him, then we don't really have to worry about him really at all. Sophie is further proving why I'm possibly thinking about wanting to target her. I mean, she's a good ally, yes, but she's also not dumb. She also seems very smart for her age, and therefore, she's going to be dangerous moving forward. Personally, I'm not against voting off Sandra. I just more or less want to consider the options, and it feels like Sophie just wants to go down the easy route rather than consider the options. So, if I do want to end up possibly making her a target in the future, I might have to make some connections with the rest of the tribe, more so than, just John, because I feel like, yes, I might gain trust with the guys by voting with them to take out Ursula, but that doesn't mean they necessarily would trust me. So, Matt, how do you feel about this tribe? Well, I actually kind of think this is a pretty good tribe, and I actually am glad you guys lost over the other team, because I actually would have much rather been on this team. Really? Yeah, I don't really trust Daniel at all, and based on the way the tribes are split, I feel like I would have been much rather good with you guys, and in a majority where, you know, it's mostly young guys on the tribe, over, you know, just being with Daniel, and, you know, I don't know what really much of the younger women, so, I feel pretty good with you guys. Well, that's good to hear. We're good with Big John, so I feel like we're a solid group of 4. Alright, well that's great. So, I feel like that if we lose, you know, I feel like it's gonna probably be Sandra and then the younger girls, depending on who's the bigger threat. Interesting. I don't want to just put myself into one alliance with Memphis and John H. Because, you know, they're cool and all, but I don't want to just put myself into one alliance and just sit there. That's boring. So I have to try and make some connections with some of these other people. Oh, hey Matt. Hey Fran. Out of curiosity, how's the game been going for you? It's been going fine, I guess. Why are we having this discussion? Well, in all honesty, I really want to work with you. Really? Yeah, I feel like you seem to be the most laid back right now, but I see a lot of you, kind of playing rather smart. What makes you think that? Well, I mean, you're not really talking to a lot of people. You're playing really quietly, and I'm trying to play quietly, for now at least. I mean, I don't want to pull out big strategy right off the bat. I mean, in all honesty, I don't want to do that either. So see? I feel like we can work pretty well together in that sense. And I feel like if we play under the radar, keep this relationship down low, below the radar, we can practically be pretty unstoppable. I mean, it is a nice offer. I'll think about it. So Matt's kind of interesting. He's laying back rather smoothly and kind of letting the game play out for now, but he also seems like he'll be willing to make a move whenever he wants to. And that's kind of what I want to do, you know? But I don't want to just do the whole ordeal of just eliminating him because we're playing similar to each other. Obviously, is he going to be a competition moving forward? Of course. But I don't want to just take him out just like that because, in all honesty, he could be a really valuable asset to my game. Where did Matt go again? He said he was going to go talk to Fran. Oh, and how do you feel about that? I mean, I'm mixed on it. I mean, do I trust Fran? Kinda. I mean, she did vote with us. Yeah, I guess, but we haven't talked to her one time. Yeah, but Big John has, so... I mean, I feel like we can still trust him, and I guess in that extent we can trust her. Yeah, and if Matt's getting close with her, maybe we can make this, you know, big alliance work, and as long as we don't lose, you know, I feel like we can make a really dominant pack. Yeah, I feel like if we end up losing once and just lose Sandra, and we win the rest of the challenges, I feel like we might have a dominant 6 if everyone is down with this group. Yeah, so, you concerned about Matt? I wouldn't say for now. Later on we would have to, but I'm not too worried right now. I'm only scared about Matt from a game points perspective. From a personal standpoint, he's pretty cool. But I obviously do know if he's trying to make, you know, kind of deals and groups with everybody else on the tribe, you know, he could be dangerous moving forward. And I obviously know me and John H have to continue making bonds, not just with him and Big John, but we also got to make some connections with, you know, the 2 younger girls, and we haven't done that. And if Matt's getting the jump on that, then, you know, we could be at a disadvantage moving forward against him. Well, there we go. Finally, we got fire going, and hopefully this can keep us warm. Hey, good on you, Carl. Yeah, nice going. I was getting rather cold in the shelter, and it has been rather cold on the island, so I decided to make a fire so we can stay warm, and, you know, I'm glad I did that, and hopefully I can secure myself to a stronger position on my tribe. Hey, Jasmine, out of curiosity, taking a nap? Huh, nothing. Alright, well, I guess we can discuss now. Alright, about what? Well, about the possibility. I talked to both Marcy and Daniel. What do you guys think? Well, I mean, personally, I don't have an opinion. Do you? Well, if I'm looking at it, I feel like we can make a better alliance with Marcy. I feel like Daniel overall looks like a bigger threat than Marcy, and I feel like I want to take him out more than Marcy. Marcy seems like she will be beneficial moving forward more so than Daniel. Alright, that sounds good. I'm obviously still in goods with Carl and Gerald. I decided that I feel like this alliance can be better with Marcy in it more so than Daniel. Because Marcy doesn't seem like she has anybody with her, and I don't think she will in the future. Daniel seems like he'll be rather social and also strategic. But Marcy seems like one of those players who is more reliant on strategy than social game. So I feel like I want to work with her and get rid of Daniel. And since Gerald and Carl are good with me, I feel like, you know, I can be able to make this happen. Alright, let's go talk to Marcy. Alright then. What are you looking at? Okay, now where the heck are you even going? Why do you even care? I'm just so goddamn confused still. Like, I don't know what is up with Jasmine. I don't feel like she is not aware of what's going on. I feel like she's just putting on, like, some type of facade to act like she doesn't get it. Because I'm seeing, like, an alliance of the older gentleman, and I am worried about that. But Jasmine doesn't see any ounce of worry in it. And I'm just so confused. I already know the big threat in George. Because I overheard him talking to Marcy. And if he's willing to work with Marcy over Daniel, as I overheard, I really just heard in their entire conversation. But if they're willing to take out Daniel, then I feel like it's better for me to warn Daniel about what's going on, so that way a bit more tension can be brewed. I just want to plant the seed before it really starts to sprout. Oh, hey, Daniel? Oh, Jasmine, is that you? Yeah, it's me. Oh, what's going on? Can we talk? I guess. So, I just kind of wanted to warn you about something. Oh, about what? About George. Why? Well, out of curiosity, did you ever talk to him? Well, I did only once. He talked to me about wanting to work with me. Well, interesting, because when I was in the shelter, I overheard him talking with the other two older guys and talking about how he wants to work with Marcy over you and that he actually wants to take you out. Oh, what? Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but I guess that's just kind of how George is playing. So, what are you trying to say? Well, I just say at least keep your eye on him, because if you still trust him, even though he's targeting you, then, well, I at least tell you to keep your radar on still. Oh, I will. So George is targeting me, and that's just kind of great. I thought I could trust George, and I thought I could actually work with George. But of course, he doesn't want to, and of course he wants to throw me out over Marcy, I guess, because he talked to me and her, and I guess he wants to work with her over me. I don't understand why. Do I believe Jasmine, though? I mean, I don't really know. She hasn't really made any ounce of discussion with me one time. And she's just kind of been, like, very quiet, I guess, for the most part, in terms of the gameplay aspect. In terms of camp life, she is kind of a motor mouth. But I am partially thinking she is telling the truth. But then again, how would she be able to know if George is a threat? I don't get it. Wait, out of curiosity, how'd you know if, George wanted to even work with Marcy? Oh, I overheard him talking with her, and I kinda knew about that information. Huh. Interesting. I'm not telling, Daniel to necessarily vote for George. I'm necessarily kind of telling him he should watch out for George. It's more of, if he ends up finding out about George's escapades, he might want to end up forming an idea to get rid of him. Chances are he would go to me first because I brought that up to him. So in some ways it would technically in some way be his move, but in all honesty, it would be mostly my move, because if I kept quiet, Daniel would necessarily be on the bottom, and he would most likely be going out if we lose. Oh, hey guys. Hey Marcy, can we talk? Sure. So I was considering our discussion we had, and I feel like all four of us can work together. I mean, we're the older side of this tribe, and we do have the majority in terms of age, so I feel like we can take advantage of that. I guess when you look at it like that, it does make sense. So, you good with us? Yeah, sure, I guess. If we lose, what do we do? I mean, George said he wanted to take out Daniel. Really? Yeah. I feel like he might be a threat, whereas with, like, Courtney and Jasmine, they don't seem like threats one bit. I guess, so, alright, I guess I'm cool with it. I will keep this older person alliance in my mind, because it is tempting. But I haven't talked really much to Gerald or Carl, so I don't know what they could really provide for my game. I do know what George can do for my game, but, he's kind of like a bit of a strategist, and he's also kind of a bit of a threat. So, I mean, I will consider this offer, but those three aren't going off my radar yet. Hey. Oh, Matt, I didn't know you woke up. Yeah, well, I did. Wanna have a talk? I mean, I guess, since you're up. I'm not kidding when I say that it sounds like someone's choking a walrus back at camp. The snoring is getting under my skin. So I just had to take a walk. Matt was suddenly behind me. So I guess I just decided to just let him talk to me, because I mean, we already established some kind of bond at the bridge, and I feel like we might as well just continue that. I'm just so annoyed by that snoring. That's the only reason why I woke up and had to take a walk. Yeah, it was pretty annoying for me as well. I mean, I don't even do that. Well, I guess that's good to know at least. So, do you still feel rather fine for where you're sitting in? Yeah, I guess. Yourself? Well, I'm still in goods with the younger guys, and, I feel like they are probably wanting you, me, them, and Sophie in, like, a group along with, John M., and if we end up having to lose, we just get rid of Sandra, and then we just, try and win all the immunity challenges that we can until merge, and then we can be a big pack of 6. I mean, I guess I'm fine with it, but I don't want to just sit in just one big alliance and, just go Final 6 and just not really do really anything, because if we won't have really anything to put on our resumes until the Final 6. Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. Fran's unsure where she sits in this majority alliance. She wants to still make moves just in case, which I'm okay with. because, I'm in goods with her, and I do agree with her because, obviously, we don't want to just sit in one big alliance and just go to the end with it because, that's just silly. Well, even though this thing is rather creepy looking, I kind of hope that this stays at our camp. Yeah, I would much rather not lose. Yeah. Hey, out of curiosity, since Matt's at the other team, what do you think's gonna happen? No idea, don't really care, because as long as he's not our problem, then we don't have to worry. Because Matt's not on our team, we don't really have an easy vote. Luckily, I didn't make my full-blown decision between Marcy or Daniel at that point, because things would have gotten really complicated if that were the case. So I guess I might as well just, move on from that. Matt's on the other team, and I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with that. Hey, Marcy? Can we, talk in the morning? Sure. So, since Daniel knows about the threat that, George is, I gotta talk to Marcy in the morning about it as well. And if she already knows about it, then I guess that's a win-win in that sense. So, you said you wanted to talk to me during the morning? Yeah. So, what is it, Jasmine? Well, it's nothing really too big, but I feel like you should at least, watch out for, George. Oh, really? Why is that? Well, he's already got, a group with Carl, Gerald, and George, and he talked, to you and, Daniel separately about working together, and he decided that he wanted to work with you over Daniel, and therefore he wanted Daniel out. Okay, and why is that concerning to me? It's concerning to you because do you just not see that George is being a threat? Oh, I do, but you gotta take into consideration that, it's a possibility I might want to work with him. Yeah, but you also can't really trust him either, because he also seems closer to the older guys. Huh. I don't know how Jasmine found out about my alliance with George and Carl and Gerald, but I guess good for her, I guess. She's telling me to watch out for George, and I have been for a bit. And, I threw out the idea that I might want to continue working with him. On the other hand, I might not want to, so Jasmine might be onto something, and that kind of sucks because, I don't really want her to be because she's not someone who I've been talking to really one time. The fact that she starts talking to me about strategy, first thing we have, our first interaction we have is, I don't know really how to feel about it. I think I get it now. She's playing dumb to hide the fact that she truly is smart. Interesting. First things first, Asano tribe getting a new look at the new Parika tribe. Ursula voted out the last tribal council and Matt taking her spot. Alright, with that said, let's get started with today's challenge. For this challenge, it will be a classic 1v1 sandbag battle. It will be paired up against another person of the other team in a duel where you'll be battling with sandbags and trying to knock the other person off. If you knock the opposing team members off, you will score a point. The first team to 5 points wins immunity and will be safe from the vote. Losing team will go to tribal council and someone will be the third person voted out of this game. But that said, the winning team will actually select one member of the losing team to go to Exile Island where they will miss the vote. So, with that said, if all you are ready, we can get started. Alright, for our first battle, for Parika, it will be John H. versus Carl for Asano. Survivors ready. Go! Carl knocks over John. Looks like he's got the upper hand on him. Looks like John kicked Carl's bag away from him. John is quickly back up and ready to make his attack on Carl. Ooh, Carl is knocked off. John H. earns the first point for Parika. Next up, we have Fran for Parika versus Courtney for Isano. Survivors ready. Go! The charging happens. What will occur from it? Ooh, Courtney starting to push Fran back and starting to push her against the edge. Ooh, looks like Fran knocks Courtney's sandbag out of her hands. But looks like Courtney is fighting back, trying to get a grip onto Fran's sandbag now. Ooh, they're fighting for the sandbag, but who will win it? Ooh, with one more shove, Courtney bests Fran despite losing her sandbag, putting the scores at tied game. Up next, we have Sandra for Parika versus George for Isano. Survivors ready. Go! Sandra running towards George, George trying to make his first move. Whoa, Sandra just plows right through George's defenses and already takes out his sandbag. And just like that, Sandra completely wipes the floor with George, earning the second point for Parika. Next, we have for Parika is Memphis, and for Isano is Marcy. Survivors ready. Go! Marcy making the first few movements towards Memphis. I don't know what Memphis seems to be doing. He's just kind of standing there. Ah, what the heck? Ooh, and it looks like Memphis just threw his sandbag at Marcy for some reason. I don't know what that's gonna do for him. Both of them seem to be just getting their sandbags now. Ooh, Memphis knocks Marcy over. And with one more shove, Memphis takes Marcy down, putting Parika at 3 points. They just need 2 more to win. Next is John M. versus Gerald. Survivors ready. Go! Gerald running full force towards John. John trying some weird strategy. I don't know what he's planning here. Ooh, John suddenly pops up and starts screwing up Gerald's strategy. And Gerald just falls off of the platform, now putting Parika at 4 points, meaning the next point wins immunity. Next is Sophie for Parika versus Jasmine for Isano. If Sophie wins this, then that means Parika win immunity, but if Jasmine wins this, then Isano's chances of winning are still alive. Survivors ready? Go! Ooh, they collide and knock each other over. Jasmine recovered quickly and is now approaching Sophie to knock her off. Sophie's trying to recover, but she's under attack by Jasmine. Ooh, and with another shove, Jasmine takes Sophie down, putting the score at 4-2, but nothing still has changed. For the potential final battle, we have for Parika, we have Matt, and for Isano, we have Daniel. But the ordeal is still the same. If Matt wins, Parika wins. But if Daniel wins, then we go into do-overs where people are going to have to go up and do it again. Let's see if that will come down to that. Survivors ready. Go! Looks like Matt is trying a little strategy to get Daniel, but that strategy worked for John, but I don't know if Daniel was going to be fooled by it. Looks like Dan wasn't fooled by it. He backed away from Matt before he popped up. Daniel knocks over Matt, and now he's ready for one final charge. Ooh, looks like he tried charging at Matt, but Matt just completely knocked Daniel down. Matt now with the advantage over Daniel. This could do it. And with one last shove, Matt takes Daniel down. And just like that, Parika have won immunity and are safe from the vote. Congratulations on Parika for winning immunity. You guys are safe from the vote. Additionally, you can select one member of the losing team to go to Exile Island. Who do you guys pick? Well, guys, what do we think? I feel like the safest option might be Jasmine. Really? Yeah, I don't think she'll find it. She's not the most smartest. Okay then. We're gonna be selecting, Jasmine. Alright, Jasmine, you're going to Exile Island tonight. As for you guys on Parika, got nothing else for you. You guys are immune, no one going home from your team. You guys can head back to camp. Asano, got nothing else for you guys except the date for me at Tribal Council. Everyone head back to camp. Jasmine, you're staying behind. You're heading off to Exile. So, I won my team immunity, and I'm feeling rather good. I didn't do the best in the first challenge, so I'm glad I was able to redeem myself this time around and be able to do pretty well in this challenge. And to win against Daniel, that just makes it even better. So, I kind of call it a win-win. Alright, let's see. Blah, 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 highest highs, blah, blah, lows, lows. Know the idols under your nose. Interesting, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to find this. I guess being safe from the vote is a good thing, but the problem is I don't really know where the idol is at. So, I guess I'm gonna have to think carefully about this. I know it's not gonna be in the trees, and I feel like looking in the bushes is too simple. So, I think I'm gonna have to get creative. Doesn't look like it's around here. Doesn't look like it's over here either. Let's see. Wait a minute. The heck is this? Ugh, come on. Alright, there we go. Now to bring this to shore. A barrel. I wonder if the idol's in here. No way did I find it that quickly. I thought it was gonna take like a full day, maybe 2, for me to be able to find the idol. But then I find this random black circle in the water. I grab it and it's a barrel. I open it and the idol is there. So I grab it, and I'm not telling anyone about this. This is my idol for me alone. Do I think anyone will think I have the idol? Probably not, because I think that they wouldn't think I would find the idol because they apparently think I'm dumb. I feel like that's the only reason the other team sent me to Exile Island, which is probably their biggest mistake. I gotta get rid of the evidence or else they'll think I found it. So Jasmine went to Exile, which I guess I'm relieved by because I don't have to, listen to her. But at the same time, considering she is proving a little bit smarter than I initially thought, I'm not too confident about the possibility of her finding the idol. If she finds the idol, then I am going to be pissed. But also, I'm not really in the best spot because I don't know where exactly I'm going to vote, because I don't really have a full-blown opinion on who should go. Well, guys, Jasmine went to Exile. I don't think that makes much of a difference. Daniel's still the target, though. I guess I agree. Yeah, same here. Alright, good with it. Jasmine going to Exile doesn't really jeopardize the plan because, she wasn't the intended target. If someone like Daniel went to Exile, that would have been more of a problem, but he didn't, so we now have him as the easy vote, and hopefully everything goes well tonight. So what do you think of the plan? I think it's good. I think it makes sense to just go with the flow. Yeah, I hope so. I hope this is the right call. Hey, Mercy, can we talk? Okay then. So Daniel, what did you want to talk to me about? Well, out of curiosity, is the vote me tonight? Well, I mean, spoiler alert, I don't think George is targeting Courtney, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that spells it out for you. Oh, well, okay, well, here's my vouch on why I think it should be George. Really, why? Well, out of curiosity, did Jasmine ever talk to you? Well, she talked to me this morning. Yeah, because here's the thing, she talked to me the day before. And I feel like that she has a point about George. George kind of talked to both of us, brought us both into like a sense of security, and he picked you over me, and I'm not bitter about that, I'm not. But I obviously know, and you should obviously know, that by that process, he's kind of, a pick and choosy, and I don't like those kinds of people who are nitpicky about who they choose, and considering George, he seems very strategic. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, George is pretty smart, and he does know what he's doing, and he does seem rather scary in terms of strategy. Yeah, so I feel like if we're going based on threats, I don't think I'm the biggest threat at all, and I feel like that George deserves to go in that sense. So I feel like we need to work together and vote off George. Alright, Daniel, I'm good with it. I'm actually kind of down to make this move on George happen. The problem is I don't know exactly how we're going to get the numbers. If some of the other older guys, like if Gerald or Carl went to Exile, it would have been easier because we could have gotten Jasmine on board, and the only thing we would have to do is get Courtney on board. But now this is trickier because we can get, Courtney on board, and she might do it. But on top of that, I don't know if she will. She could rat us out to the Alliance and probably ship the vote on to me because I'm more closer to George than Daniel is. But I'm hoping that Courtney at least hears us out on the plan and doesn't tell anybody. And hopefully I can get through to Gerald and Carl, and hopefully I can be able to oust George. Hey, Courtney. Oh, hey, Marcy. Out of curiosity, do you know what the vote is? Well, I talked with George, Gerald, and Carl, and they seemed that they want to do Daniel. Oh, so are we doing Daniel tonight? Well, I don't know, because I talked with Daniel, and he wants to do George. Really? Yeah. I feel like that I kind of want to make this move on George happen. Well, if the numbers are there to take him out, then I guess I'm down to do it. Oh, okay, great. We at least can tie a vote. All we need to do is just talk Gerald and Carl into the plan, and I'll talk with them, so hopefully it can work. I'm kind of left out of the loop on this vote because I'm not really that close with any of my tribe members. I talked with Marcy, and she told me she's kind of mixed. She is kind of with George, Gerald, and Carl to take out Daniel, but she also is with Daniel to take out George, and she's more wanting to vote off George. If the numbers are there to take out George, I'm down with it, but I don't know if that is going to be the case, because if Carl and Gerald aren't going to do it, I probably won't do it. Guys, can we talk? Oh, about what? About the vote. And what's there to talk about? Listen, we just need to talk about it. Okay. Alright, guys, I feel like we need to change the vote. Why? I mean, everyone seems okay with doing Daniel. Yeah, I mean, unless if Courtney's not with us. I mean, did you talk to Courtney? I mean, I talked to her and she's okay with it, just as long as the numbers are going there. Then what's there to really discuss? Well, I want to at least throw the idea of voting off George. Why would we vote off George? Well, okay, like, were you guys even close to him to begin with? Well, to be honest, not really. He never really talked to us when we were on 4 tribes, and he only really started wanting to work with us when we, are a tribe of 7. So don't you guys see? He's only finding you guys only valuable for his game and to satisfy his own game moving forward. Okay, but who's to say that's not the same with Daniel? Listen, I read Daniel, and he's nowhere near a threat as George. George is a threat, and he only allies with certain people that he believes satisfies his game the best, and we need to get rid of him before he can make something big happen. The thing is, Marcy isn't wrong, it's just that I'm kind of mixed on the idea. I mean, I don't really want to take out George since he's willing to work with me and Carl. But the whole thing is, he suddenly wants to work with us when we're on a tribe of 7. And that just seems kind of strange. He never talked to us to begin with when we were on 4 tribes, so why did he suddenly want to work with us now? It was kind of confusing. So, I'm not saying Marcy is wrong per se, but I just don't think the time is right. I was wandering off, talking to Courtney if she's down with voting off Daniel, and then I come back and I see Marcy walking away from Carl and Gerald. And I can't help but think what she's discussing with them about. Probably to shift the vote, most likely. But here's the thing. I don't think she's going to shift the vote onto Courtney, because I don't think she values Courtney as a threat. Meaning she's only trying to do one thing. Getting the vote onto me. And, well, fair shot at that, Marcy, but I'm, of course, not going to let you have that. Okay, Courtney, I kind of wanted to update you on the plan. Oh, why? Well, the plan's now shifting to Marcy. Wait, what? Why? Well, because she's kind of turning against me, and I can't have her in the game. A bigger target is someone within your alliance going after you, and she's more of a threat than Daniel is now. So we need to shift it onto her. Do you think Daniel would be fine with it? I think so. As long as I talk him into it, I feel like he might be willing to, make this move happen. As for Carl and Gerald, I feel like they'll be down to work with me and vote off Marcy. George is kind of freaking out, and I feel like the vote is gonna be a mess if, he ends up, going completely overboard, wanting to get rid of Marcy. Am I fine with it? I mean, I just want to go with the numbers at this point. That's the only thing I want to do, is just go where the numbers land. Hey, Daniel. Oh, hey, George. What'd you want to talk to me about? Well, okay. I initially wanted you out, to be fair with you, dude. Oh, wait, why? Well, because here's the thing. I thought I could work with Marcy more, but I found out recently today that she wants me gone. Really? Yeah, she talked to Gerald and Carl and everything. So I feel like we need to take her out because she's trying to make this big move. Okay then. Do you think Gerald and Carl will be down with it? I think so. Courtney seems to be down with it as well, so hopefully it'll be unanimous on Marcy. George thinks I'm stupid and just will instantly listen to him, but he's panicking, he's freaking out because his name's on the chopping block, so he's gonna do whatever it takes to stay off the chopping block. And he suddenly just talks to me today for the first time in a while. Like, he's never talked to me since he's formed the alliance with Marcy, Gerald, and Carl, and suddenly now he wants to work with me still. That just proves that Jasmine was definitely right about George. I know he doesn't mean what he actually means. I know he's a fraud. I know he doesn't truly want to work with me, and tonight he's going to go home, plain and simple. Guys, has my name been thrown around? I mean, yeah, kinda. Okay, well, here's the thing. We're shifting it onto Marcy. Wait, what? Why? Why her over Daniel? Why can't we just full send on Daniel? Well, we have to vote off Marcy. Did she talk to you about voting me? Well, I mean, we got a word from her that she was thinking about it. Exactly, so we need to vote her off. A bigger threat than someone outside of the walls being strategic is someone who is strategic within your walls. And Marcy is within our alliance and therefore is a way bigger threat than Daniel. Okay then. Jeez, what a colossal mess. I know, like, this is just crazy. Initially, it was going to be an easy vote, and then suddenly things get more complicated. What do you think we should do? Well, I feel like the safest thing we need to do is bring Courtney into this group. Wait, why? Well, it seems like she's the one person who seems undecided, and we seem undecided. Marcy and Daniel want to take out George. George wants to take out Marcy, so I feel like me, you, and Courtney make the decision. Okay then. Even though me and Gerald haven't talked to Courtney one time, we seem to be in the same kind of ballpark. We're all in a position where we don't know where we're voting, and we're kind of the swing votes tonight. So I feel like if all three of us come to a collective decision, then we should be able to make something big happen. So Courtney, it's come to me and Gerald's attention that it seems like we're the swing votes. Oh yeah? Yeah. I feel like Marcy and Daniel want George gone. George wants Marcy gone now. She originally wanted Daniel gone. Yeah, I know. George told me that Daniel was initially the plan, and then, he told me that Marcy was then the plan. Yeah, so I feel like we have the decision to make. We can either vote with George, take out Marcy, or heck, we could end up voting off Daniel if we want to as a group of three. Or we could go with one of the sides. We could go with Marcy and Daniel and vote off George. So what do you think? Well, I'm mixed on it. I mean, there's a reason to get rid of all three of them. They seem rather smart. Yeah, that's what we think. So I feel like we got a lot of things to consider tonight. I was initially completely left out of the loop for a bit, but now I find myself in a swing vote position with Carl and Gerald, who I have not talked to one time whatsoever. It seems like we have the decision to make. We can vote off Marcy, we can vote off George, but we could also vote off Daniel and screw up everything. And, make, our position in the tribe a bit stronger, because Marcy and George would still be going at it. So I feel like we have a big decision to make. Do we choose a side, or do we just make a bigger move? That's all it comes down to. Alright, first things first, behind every one of you is a torch. Grab one and dip it in the fire. This here is a ritual at Tribal Council, because in this game, fire represents your life. Once your flame is gone, so are you. Welcome, Isano, to your first Tribal Council of the season. For some of you, it is your first, but for Marcy, it's her second. So, Daniel, with this being your first time here, how's it feeling? Well, it kind of sucks, Jeff, but I'm actually kind of impressed I was able to avoid Tribal Council, at least till the third one, so I guess that's rather interesting. So, Marcy, how do you feel about going into Tribal again tonight? Well, it's not really that shocking, and it's not really that intimidating to me. I mean, I am kind of hearing my name, and that's kind of the only thing I'm worried about, but aside from that, I mean, I'm feeling pretty okay. So, George, with Jasmine at Exile, do you feel like the vote tonight is going to end up being different compared to if she were here? Well, we can't know for sure about that, Jeff, because that's not what's going to happen, because she isn't here. If she were here and someone else went to Exile, then the vote probably would end up being different. But I guess we'll find out. So, with that said, it's time to vote. Courtney, you'll start us off. Your valid effort of trying to get rid of me is admirable, but unfortunately, it's not working out for you tonight. You apparently claim to talk loyalty, but you show none of that to me. I'll go tally the votes. Alright, I have the votes. Now if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now is the time to do so. No? Alright, once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the Tribal Council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Marcy. George. That's one vote Marcy, one vote George. George. That's two votes George, one vote Marcy. George. That's three votes George, one vote Marcy, two votes left. Third person voted out as Survivor Guyana. George. That's four, that's enough. No need to read the last vote. Need to bring me your torch. George, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Well, first vote, first decision, a unanimous one at that. But don't get too comfy, because moving forward, the game is going to get more complicated, and so will the votes. Got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. Good night. Well, the name of the game is to outwit, outplay, outlast, and I got clearly all those three things. I'm very disappointed in myself. I truly thought I had, a grip on the game, but it turns out the game had a grip on me. Well played to Marcy. Good luck, girl. And it's a disappointment to leave this game this early.